had always been obsessed with the idea of marrying into old money. To make it happen, she bought a bottle of viral glow-up pills that were trending all over TikTok back then. I warned her. I told her these sketchy, unregulated supplements had severe side effects and could literally ruin her body. Hearing my warning, Chloe threw the pills away immediately. She even hugged me and thanked me for saving her life. But not long after, photos of a lavish wedding went viral on Instagram. The groom was a billionaire heir, and the bride was the very influencer who sold Chloe those pills. Chloe was convinced that the influencer only snagged the billionaire because of those glow-up pills. She blamed me for destroying her dream. In a fit of rage, she ran me over with her car. Jealous bitch. If you hadn't meddled, I'd be the one marrying into the Sterling family. Our parents helped her cover up the crime, telling everyone that my death was just a tragic car accident. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day Chloe was showing off those glow-up pills to me. Our parents were standing by, smiling. It's fine, Mia. Every girl wants to look pretty, right? I smiled back. Yeah, if you want to take them, Chloe, go ahead. Mia, look. I paid a fortune for these glow-up pills. Everyone on Snapchat says they make you gorgeous enough to snag a billionaire. The moment I opened my eyes, I saw Chloe excitedly waving a beautifully packaged bottle of pills in front of my face. Once these pills make my skin flawless and pale, those rich guys will be crawling to me. Before I could say anything, Mom and Dad cut in. If Chloe wants them, let her have them. It's normal for girls to care about their looks. Mia, don't always be such a buzzkill, as long as Chloe is happy. In my past life, I said the exact same thing. But as a pre-med graduate, I could see through the scam immediately. The glow-up effect of these pills was caused by banned hormones. They gave a temporary boost to the skin, but long-term use caused toxins to build up in the body, leading to sudden organ failure. In my previous life, I had explained all the medical risks to Chloe. I even showed her news articles about girls who ended up permanently disfigured from taking them. Chloe had been terrified. She threw the pills straight into the trash. Mia, thank God you told me. Being pretty isn't worth dying for. Even our parents had looked relieved back then. But soon after, photos of a high society wedding flooded Instagram. The bride was the very influencer who sold Chloe those pills. Chloe lost her mind. She convinced herself that if I hadn't stopped her, she would have been the one in that wedding dress. So she lured me out, waited until my back was turned, and slammed her accelerator, crashing her car straight into me. You jealous bitch. If you hadn't meddled, I'd be the one marrying into the Sterling family. I died on the spot. My parents lied to the cops, claiming I had severe depression and that it was a suicide. We didn't spend a single day in jail. Instead, she used my tragic death to gain clout on TikTok, building a massive following and making a fortune. Feeling the phantom pain still lingering in my chest, I forced down the burning hatred inside me and forced a casual smile. Chloe, once you marry a billionaire and live in a mansion, don't forget about me. Chloe beamed with pride, her smile reaching her ears. Mia, we're sisters. Once I make it big, I'll definitely look out for you. Then Chloe hesitated, a flicker of worry crossing her face. But I am a little nervous. These pills won't actually hurt me, right? You studied medicine. Can you check the ingredients for me? I opened my mouth but then swallowed my words. I had warned her in my past life, and what did I get? My parents helped her lie, blamed me, and treated my brutal murder like a convenient accident. I blinked innocently. I didn't major in pharmacology, Chloe. I don't really know much about these synthetic supplements. If you're that worried, maybe just throw them away. I said this on purpose. I knew Chloe, and I knew our parents since we were kids. Our parents never said no to anything Chloe wanted. Sure enough, Chloe instantly clutched the pill bottle tightly to her chest. Tons of girls on TikTok got gorgeous from these. I will too. Once my skin is perfect, finding a rich guy will be a piece of cake. I said nothing. Go ahead, take them. This time, I wanted to see if Chloe would end up in a mansion or with a ruined face. Chloe was still slightly anxious, so she spent the whole night searching Snapchat and TikTok for success stories. Thanks to the algorithm, her feed was quickly flooded with videos of girls glowing up and marrying rich after taking the pills. Occasionally, a video debunking the pills as a dangerous scam would pop up, but Chloe swiped past them instantly. She only wanted to see the success stories, fantasizing about achieving instant fame and wealth. Meanwhile, I was busy, sending out resumes, running to job interviews, and looking for internships. When I got exhausted, I relied on coffee and mint balm to keep myself awake. Chloe, on the other hand, stayed up all night researching how to sneak into exclusive VIP parties, and hunting for wealthy guys on Instagram, giggling at her phone all day. One day, seeing me editing my resume over a cheap takeout box, Chloe curled her lip into a sneer. Yeah, you work so hard sending resumes and doing interviews, but you're just going to end up with a basic, low-paying job. You should really try these glow-up pills with me. You won't have to worry about finding a guy to take care of you. It's way better than wage slaving without thinking. I blurted out, no thanks. Chloe's face darkened instantly. Mia, do you still think something is wrong with these pills? Seeing the suspicion in her eyes, I quickly smoothed things over. It's just I'm not naturally pretty anyway. Even if I take them, it won't make a difference. But you're already gorgeous and slim. The pills will work like magic on you. I don't want to waste them. Seeing my self-deprecating look, Chloe's anger turned into smug satisfaction. He looked down at my faded hoodie with sheer contempt. True. A plain girl like you wouldn't know what to do with a glow-up. Anyway, I nodded in agreement, my mind completely calm. Our family was working class. Our parents worked odd jobs to get us through school. In my past life, I worked myself to the bone just to land a decent entry-level job. But I had been content. I wanted to graduate, work hard, and help my parents. I never expected Chloe to destroy everything. And what broke my heart the most was that my parents knew the truth, yet chose to protect my murder. Remembering how they casually dismissed my death as an accident, a cold rage washed over me. Watching Chloe lose herself in her delusional fantasies, I looked away and went back to editing my resume. The night of the charity gala hosted by the Sterling family arrived. Before leaving the house, Chloe posted on Twitter, "Big night ahead," with a picture of a glow-up pill. The gala ended late. The moment I walked through the front door, I heard Chloe's excited voice echoing from the living room. "Chloe, did you seriously meet Zachary Sterling?" A few of her friends were crowding around her, green with envy. Chloe tossed her hair proudly. "Of course, he even asked for my Snapchat. He told me I looked absolutely stunning tonight." To prove she wasn't lying, Chloe started listing the brand of Zachary's designer suit, his luxury watch, and the exact words he said to her. My heart skipped a beat. Knowing Chloe's social circle, there was no way she could have gotten close to someone in that elite bracket. Did Zachary Sterling actually take an interest in her? Listening to Chloe brag, the other girls' eyes practically turned into hearts. "Oh my god, Chloe, this is insane. Zachary is totally into you. Forget about basic rich guys. You're about to secure an actual billionaire." The flattery went straight to Chloe's head. Then one girl asked Chloe, "How did you do it?" "We're best friends. You can't keep the secret to yourself. I saw your Twitter post. Is it because of those glow-up pills?" Chloe didn't even hesitate. She proudly admitted it. The girls gasped. "If we take those pills before the next party, will we get that gorgeous, too?" The room went wild. Everyone stared at Chloe, like she held the key to heaven. "Chloe, where did you buy them? Can you get some for me? I'll pay you right now." Chloe hesitated at first, but when she realized she could charge them a premium, her eyes lit up with greed. After pocketing their cash, Chloe promised she would secure the pills as soon as possible. Then she turned to look at me. "Mia, I can get a bottle for you too. I'll even give you a sister discount." I rejected her instantly. "No thanks. I'll just stick to my regular routine. Besides, those things have crazy side effects. What if something goes wrong?" Hearing my words, the hyped-up girls suddenly quieted down. Realizing there might be dangerous side effects, several girls started getting cold feet. Seeing her easy cash being handed back, Chloe glared at me with pure venom. "Mia, I can't believe you. Just because you can't afford these pills doesn't mean you have to ruin things for everyone else." I put on a hurt expression. "Chloe, I'm just looking out for you guys. What if someone gets hurt?" Chloe snorted. "I've been taking them, and I'm perfectly fine. Look at how bright my skin is. If you guys want to stay ugly, fine by me." Seeing Chloe's flawless skin, the girls wavered again. A few of the more insecure girls didn't hesitate. They Venmo'd Chloe the money on the spot, begging her to buy the pills for them. Chloe smiled and accepted the money, then smirked at the others. They looked back and forth between me and Chloe, eventually shaking their heads. "We'll pass." Chloe let out a condescending laugh, pointing at me. "Fine, since you'd rather listen to Mia, let's see what kind of amazing job she lands with her boring life." That night, the girls who bought the pills posted matching Snapchat stories of the cap with a caption, "Ready for my glow-up." Looking at their stubbornness, I sighed and went back to preparing for my interview tomorrow. A week later, at another college party, those girls indeed looked significantly fairer. Wealthy frat boys were actually approaching them. They came back ecstatic, crowding around Chloe. "Chloe, these pills are literally magic. My skin is glowing." Those rich guys who used to ignore me were buying me drinks all night. I knew this was just the calm before the storm. I had secretly researched the chemical compounds in those pills. The short-term whitening effect was real, but the banned hormones would build up in the body. Within 6 months, the backlash would begin. Skin rotting, severe pigmentation, and even organ damage. I tried to drop subtle hints to Chloe, but she wouldn't listen to a word. "You're just jealous. Look at my skin. It's better than any celebrity's." What she didn't know was that Zachary Sterling wasn't interested in her looks. He was using her as an unregistered distributor to sell his toxic pills to college girls. As word spread, more and more girls came knocking on our door. "Chloe, do these pills really work? Are you blind? Look at me. It's your own fault for not believing me sooner. Just sit back and watch me shine. Chloe, you're literally an angel for sharing this with us." Hearing this, the girls who had hesitated earlier were filled with deep regret. Noticing their jealousy, Chloe turned her smug gaze onto me. "Mia, if you hadn't held me back, I would have reached this level months ago. I'd probably be engaged to Zachary by now." She sighed dramatically. "But don't be too sad if you missed out this semester. There's always next year. Always." Words completely shifted the blame. The girls who had been on my side yesterday now glared at me with burning resentment. "Mia, did you do that on purpose? Just because you're playing doesn't mean you have to hold your sister back. I was going to buy them, but I listened to you and missed my chance. You ruined my life." Accusations flew at me from all directions. I kept my face blank, my mind focused on one thing. The pills results were real, but the price was absolute. Chloe had no idea she was walking straight into Zachary's trap. A few girls got so aggressive that one of them screamed, "She took away our future. Push her off the balcony." Before I could react, several hands grabbed my arms, dragging me toward the apartment balcony. I desperately grabbed the door frame, my sneakers sliding against the floor. "Let go of me. Are you guys insane?" They didn't care. They shoved me hard, pushing my upper body over the low balcony railing. I was dangling stories above the concrete pavement, the cold wind whipping my hair across my face. "What are you doing?" "Pull her back," Mom screamed in terror. "Mia, you think you're so smart. Keep talking now, bitch," one girl yelled, her eyes bloodshot with rage. I gripped the railing, my knuckles white. "Don't listen to Chloe. The medical results aren't out yet. Don't do this. Murder is a federal crime." But they were completely deaf to my pleas, trying to push me over the edge just as I thought I was going to plummet to my death. The sharp wail of police sirens echoed from the street below. A neighbor had called 911. The cops burst into the apartment seconds later, tearing the girls away from me and pulling me back to safety. Chloe stood in the corner, a faint, cold smirk on her face. When the officer demanded an explanation, Chloe spoke up first. "Officer, this is my sister, Mia. She got jealous because I'm prettier than her, so she tried to stop us from taking our vitamins." Everyone just got a little emotional. I leaned against the wall, gasping for air, unable to utter a single word. Finally, Dad sighed, looking exhausted. "Since this has become a police matter, I'm taking Chloe to the clinic tomorrow for a full medical checkup. We'll see if these pills are actually poison," Chloe whined, but she couldn't argue with Dad. The next afternoon, the lab results came back. The report showed Chloe's liver enzymes were off the charts, heavy metals in her blood were at toxic levels, and her skin biopsy showed deep layer chemical damage. Chloe stared at the paper, completely frozen. Chloe's fingers trembled so hard the lab report rattled like a flag in a storm. "No, this has to be fake." She snatched the papers from the doctor and scanned them again, her face draining of color. "There has to be a mistake. My skin is glowing. Look at me." The dermatologist didn't even glance up. "Your makeup is covering the inflammation. Remove it." A nurse handed Chloe a packet of cleansing wipes. She rolled her eyes dramatically. "Fine." She wiped once, twice, then froze. A dark gray patch had appeared beneath her foundation. Another swipe. The pale, flawless skin she'd been flaunting online wasn't there anymore. Purple veins spidered across her cheeks. Tiny black specks dotted her jawline like mold beneath glass. "What?" She scrubbed harder. The more makeup came off, the uglier the damage became. Mom screamed. Dad stumbled backward into a chair. "Oh my God." The doctor sighed. "The hormones temporarily forced your skin cells to regenerate faster. Now they're dying faster than your body can replace them." He flipped to another page. "Your liver is also under severe stress. If you continue taking these pills, you could need a transplant." Chloe burst into hysterical laughter. "No." Then she started crying. "No. That's impossible." She pointed straight at me. "Tell him he's wrong." I folded my arms. "I'm not a dermatologist." She lunged toward me anyway. "You knew. I asked you. You knew this would happen." I shrugged. "You asked whether I specialized in synthetic supplements. I told you I didn't. That wasn't a lie. You also told me to throw them away," she screamed. "And you chose not to." The room fell silent. Even Dad couldn't defend that. The doctor adjusted his glasses. "Where exactly did you purchase these pills?" Chloe hesitated. "Online." "From who?" She swallowed. "An influencer." "Name." She whispered it. The doctor's expression changed instantly. "I've heard complaints about this product before." He walked to his computer and typed for a few moments. His eyebrows shot up. "Interesting. What?" "This company isn't registered with the FDA. And this seller has already been reported multiple times." He turned the monitor around. Dozens of consumer complaints filled the screen. Girls hospitalized. Girls suffering kidney damage. Girls permanently scarred. Several lawsuits had already been filed. Chloe's breathing became ragged. But she married Zachary Sterling. She looks perfect." The doctor gave her a strange look. "Social media isn't medical evidence." I almost laughed. That single sentence shattered Chloe's fantasy more effectively than anything I could have said. For the first time, she looked scared instead of angry. Then her phone buzzed. One message. Then another. Then 20. The girls she'd sold the pills to had started noticing symptoms. "Emma, why is my neck turning gray?" "Jessica, my hair is falling out in clumps." "Olivia, I'm vomiting blood." "Ashley, the hospital wants to know what I took." Seconds later, Chloe's phone exploded with incoming FaceTime calls. She answered one. The girl on the screen was sobbing. "My skin's peeling." Another call. "My doctor says I have liver damage." Another. "My parents are calling the police." Chloe's face turned white. "They're overreacting." Nobody agreed. Then the apartment door shook. Bang, bang, bang. "Open the door." 3 furious parents stormed inside before anyone could stop them. One mother slapped a plastic prescription bottle onto our coffee table. "My daughter bought these from your daughter." Another father jabbed a finger at Chloe. She charged my kid $300 a bottle. You poisoned our children. Mom immediately stepped in. There's been a misunderstanding. The woman rounded on her. A misunderstanding? My daughter is in the ICU. The room erupted. Everyone shouted over one another. You promised they were safe. You said celebrities used them. You guaranteed there were no side effects. Dad tried calming everyone down. Let's discuss this peacefully. Nobody listened. Then another voice came from the hallway. FBI. Nobody move. The apartment went dead silent. 4 federal agents walked in alongside detectives from the Financial Crimes Unit. One agent held up a warrant. Chloe Bennett? Her knees nearly gave out. Why yes. You're under investigation for distributing unapproved drugs, wire fraud, consumer fraud, and conspiracy. She blinked. What? The lead agent continued. We've also obtained evidence showing you transferred money to multiple overseas accounts connected to the supplier. I didn't know. You accepted payments. You recruited additional distributors. You advertised medical claims online. That makes you part of the distribution chain. I was just trying to make money. Another agent placed several evidence bags on the table. Inside were the remaining bottles. We'll be taking these. Then he looked directly at Chloe. And we'd like to ask you some questions about Zachary Sterling. The moment she heard Zachary's name, hope flashed across her face. Yes. He tricked me. He'll explain everything. He likes me. The agent's expression didn't change. He was arrested 37 minutes ago. The color drained from Chloe's face. What? He doesn't own Sterling Group. He isn't an heir. He isn't even related to the Sterling family. He used a fake identity to recruit attractive women into selling illegal products. The room fell completely silent. Every glamorous photo, every luxury car, every charity gala, every designer suit, every promise, every flirtatious smile, every single bit of it had been part of the scam. Chloe collapsed onto the floor. No. I was supposed to marry into old money. Instead, she had just married herself to a federal criminal investigation. The words hadn't even finished echoing before Chloe screamed. You're lying. She lunged for the lead agent's tablet. Show me. The agent simply turned the screen toward her. There was Zachary. Not in a tuxedo. Not stepping out of a Rolls-Royce. He was handcuffed, shoved into the back of an FBI SUV while reporters shouted questions from every direction. Fake billionaire arrested in multi-state beauty scam. Millions made from illegal hormone pills. Authorities seek additional victims. Chloe stared at the screen in disbelief. No. He told me he loved me. One detective laughed. He told 19 other distributors the same thing. Another folder landed on the coffee table. Inside were photographs. Zachary kissing different women. Vacationing with influencers. Proposing with the exact same diamond ring. Even the proposal speeches were identical. One detective smirked. He copied and pasted his love life. The girls who had once worshipped Chloe looked like they'd been struck by lightning. Emma whispered. So, we weren't special? The detective didn't sugarcoat it. You were sales representatives. Nothing more. Every girl looked at Chloe. Seconds earlier they had envied her. Now they looked ready to tear her apart. Jessica exploded first. You told us he chose you because you were prettier than everyone else. Ashley threw an empty pill bottle at Chloe's feet. You said we'd all marry rich. You said these were the same pills celebrities used. Another girl shoved her phone into Chloe's face. My hospital bill is already over $12,000. My parents had to borrow money. You ruined me. One accusation after another crashed into Chloe like waves. You lied. You scammed us. You stole from us. You poisoned us. Mom immediately jumped in front of Chloe. She didn't know. She's a victim too. The lead agent raised an eyebrow. A victim who marked up each bottle by 400%. Mom's mouth snapped shut. The detective opened another file. Our financial audit shows Chloe received nearly $180,000 in digital payments over the last 4 months. Dad nearly fell out of his chair. $180,000? He turned to Chloe. You made that much money? She looked away. I was saving it. For what? She whispered. My wedding. Dad looked like someone had punched him in the chest. You let your mother work double shifts. You watched me destroy my back doing construction. And you had almost $200,000 hidden away? Silence. For the first time in their lives, even our parents couldn't find an excuse. Then another bomb dropped. The financial crimes investigator looked at Dad. We'll also need to discuss where this money went. He slid several bank statements across the table. Over the past 3 months, your family purchased a new SUV, paid off your mortgage, remodeled your kitchen, and took 2 luxury vacations. Dad blinked. What? The investigator tapped each transfer. Paid directly from Chloe's account. Mom's face turned ghostly white. She had always bragged to the neighbors. My daughter takes such good care of us. Now, every dollar looked dirty. The room was so quiet you could hear someone's phone vibrating. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Emma looked down. Then her face turned pale. Guys. Everyone looked over. She slowly held up her phone. The influencer who originally sold the pills had just posted a video. She was crying. Mascara streamed down her cheeks. I've decided to cooperate with federal authorities. I was paid to pretend the pills worked. The wedding photos were fake. I wasn't marrying into the Sterling family. It was a staged ceremony filmed for advertisements. Gasps filled the room. She continued. The mansion was rented. The guests were actors. The luxury cars belonged to a production company. The wedding ring was fake. My marriage certificate doesn't even exist. Every illusion Chloe had built her life around crumbled in 60 seconds. She snatched her own phone and opened Instagram. The glamorous wedding photos she'd obsessed over were gone. Every single one. Deleted. In their place was a black screen with white text. I lied. The glow-up pills were a scam. Don't take them. Thousands of comments poured in every second. You destroyed my sister's health. I'm joining the class action. See you in court, monster. Chloe frantically refreshed her own TikTok. Her account had over 300,000 followers. 300,000, then 299, 297, 293. The number dropped so fast it looked like a countdown timer. Every refresh cost her thousands more. Brands began posting publicly. Partnership terminated. Contract cancelled. Cease and desist issued. Payment notifications started reversing. Refund processed. Chargeback filed. Payment disputed. One after another. The money she'd bragged about vanished before her eyes. Then came the final notification. Account frozen pending fraud investigation. Chloe let out a sound somewhere between a sob and a scream. My money! My money! The lead agent calmly snapped a pair of handcuffs around her wrists. For now, it isn't your money anymore. Chloe stared at the handcuffs like they were venomous snakes. No. She laughed. Then laughed harder. You can't arrest me. I'm supposed to marry into the Sterling family. The FBI agent blinked. The Sterling family has filed a lawsuit against you. What? Before anyone could explain. Boom. The apartment door slammed open again. A dozen men and women in expensive suits marched inside with clipboards. The leader flashed a badge. Court-appointed asset recovery. Another carried a stack of legal documents, nearly a foot high. Another wheeled in boxes. Dad frowned. What is all this? The woman smiled professionally. Everything purchased with proceeds from alleged fraud is subject to seizure. Mom laughed nervously. Our couch? Yes. Our TV? Yes. The refrigerator? Yes. Dad pointed wildly. The dining table? Yes. The coffee maker? Yes. Our air fryer? Yes. Our massage chair? Especially the massage chair. Within minutes, workers swarmed through the apartment. One unplugged the television in the middle of Mom's favorite soap opera. No. Another rolled away the brand new refrigerator. Dad opened it instinctively. His sandwich fell onto the floor as it disappeared down the hallway. My lunch. Someone else began unscrewing the giant crystal chandelier Mom had bragged about to every neighbor. No, not the chandelier. Another worker peeled the giant 75-inch television off the wall. Another disconnected the Wi-Fi router. The internet died instantly. Chloe's TikTok livestream cut off mid-cry. Comments froze forever on screen. LOL karma. This is better than Netflix. She's finished. Outside, neighbors began gathering. Then someone recognized Chloe. Hey, that's the glow-up scam girl. Phones shot into the air like fireworks. Within minutes, the entire apartment complex looked like a paparazzi convention. Someone started chanting. Refund. 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 Soon dozens joined in. Even kids riding bicycles slowed down just to point. There she is. The scammer. Someone threw a cheap bottle of whitening lotion onto the lawn. You can have this one for free. The crowd burst into laughter. Meanwhile, inside the apartment, things somehow became even worse. One investigator opened Chloe's bedroom closet. Designer handbags. Luxury heels. Jewelry. Receipt after receipt. He raised an eyebrow. You certainly spent enthusiastically. Chloe hugged the closet door. Nobody touched my bags. The investigator examined one. This one's counterfeit. Another. Counterfeit. Another. Also counterfeit. He looked at Chloe. You paid $20,000 for fake designer bags. Chloe's jaw dropped. Impossible. He flipped one over. The luxury logo was spelled wrong. Instead of Louis Vuitton, it read Louis Vuitton. Mom covered her face. Dad looked ready to pass out. Then another investigator walked in holding a framed photo. Interesting. Everyone looked. It was the glamorous selfie Chloe always posted. She stood beside a bright yellow Lamborghini. The investigator turned the frame over. Attached to the back was the original rental receipt. 5-minute photo package. $25. The room erupted in laughter. One of the agents couldn't even hide his grin. So, you didn't own the Lamborghini? Chloe whispered. No. You didn't even rent it. No. You rented permission to stand next to it. Even the FBI agents exchanged looks. Then, re-thawing. Mom's phone exploded. She answered. Hello. A shriek blasted through the speaker. It was Aunt Linda. You embarrassed the entire family. Another call. Grandma. I've disowned Chloe. Another. Her church group. We'd appreciate it if your family didn't attend Sunday service for a while. Another. Dad's boss. Don't bother coming in tomorrow. Another. Mom's supervisor. We've received complaints. Every ringtone was another disaster. Every vibration another bridge burning. Then, Chloe refreshed TikTok again. Her follower count, 42,000. Refresh. 31,000. Refresh. 18,000. Refresh. 7,000. Refresh. Refresh. Account permanently banned. She let out a scream so loud the workers stopped carrying furniture. No. My followers. My sponsorships. My future. The notification barrage wasn't over. Instagram, account suspended. Snapchat, account locked. Venmo, frozen. PayPal, frozen. Bank, account restricted. Credit card, declined. Desperate, Chloe grabbed Dad's wallet. I'll just use yours. Dad yanked it back. No. She turned to Mom. You'll help me, right? Mom burst into tears. I don't even know who you are anymore. The words hit harder than any handcuffs. For the first time, Chloe looked completely alone. Then the television crew arrived. A reporter pushed through the crowd. Miss Bennett, do you have a statement for the hundreds of alleged victims? Every phone pointed toward Chloe. She tried to hide behind Mom. The reporter asked another question. Did you knowingly poison college students for money? No. Were you promised marriage by the fake billionaire? Did he ever actually love you? The silence answered for her. By sunset, the apartment was nearly empty. Only bare walls and dusty outlines where luxury used to be. Dad slowly looked around the stripped apartment. Then at Chloe. His shoulders slumped. We traded our daughter. For this? No one had an answer. The FBI agents barely got Chloe into the hallway before another agent's phone rang. He listened for 10 seconds. Then smiled. We got him. Who? Chloe shouted. The chemist. And he gave us everything. The lead agent tossed a thick folder onto the table. Inside were invoices, shipping records, group chats, bank transfers, and hundreds of screenshots. At the top of one page was Chloe's profile picture. Beneath it, top distributor of the month trophy. Her smile disappeared. No, the agent read aloud. Target insecure college girls. Tell them rich men only date pretty women. Raise the price if they're desperate. Every message had Chloe's name beside it. I was just following instructions. So was every other distributor, the agent replied. They're all being arrested. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Emma has filed a lawsuit. Jessica has filed a lawsuit. Ashley has filed a lawsuit. Class action lawsuit. You have been named as a defendant. Refresh. Another lawsuit. Refresh. Another. Refresh. Another. Chloe screamed and threw the phone. It bounced off the wall. Dad picked it up. The screen lit up automatically. Balance. $184,327. A second later. Account frozen. Balance. $0 available. Chloe lunged for the phone. My money. The bank notification wasn't finished. Luxury SUV repossession scheduled. Mortgage payment reversed pending investigation. Tax audit initiated. Mom nearly fainted. Then another bomb exploded. The television news interrupted every channel. Breaking news. The fake Sterling heir has confessed. Everyone froze. The anchor continued. He admitted every relationship was fake. He kept a ranking list of distributors. A chart appeared. Number 1 highest sales, Chloe Bennett. Underneath was another column. Nickname. Easy to manipulate. The room went dead quiet. Chloe stared at the TV. Easy to manipulate? Another page appeared. He had rated every woman. Beauty. 8 out of 10. Greed. 10 out of 10. Critical thinking. 1 out of 10. Even the FBI agents looked uncomfortable. One quietly coughed to hide a laugh. Dad's face turned crimson. Mom covered her mouth. Chloe completely lost it. No. She grabbed a vase and smashed it. Then another. Then a lamp. Then the coffee table. She spun toward the TV. It's her fault. She pointed straight at me. If Mia had taken the pills with me, none of this would have happened. The room stared at her. Even Mom looked horrified. One detective sighed. So, your defense is, your sister should have committed fraud with you? Chloe opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Click. The handcuffs locked tighter. Chloe Bennett, the agent said. You're under arrest. As they dragged her outside, hundreds of phones were waiting. Reporters rushed forward. Chloe, any comment? Do you regret poisoning people? Were you really going to marry a fake billionaire? Someone in the crowd shouted. Hey, glow up queen. Another yelled. Show us your glowing skin now. Laughter erupted. Chloe lowered her head as cameras flashed from every direction. By nightfall, every social media platform had the same trending hashtag. Hashtag glowdownqueen. Within 24 hours, her name became the internet's favorite punchline. And this time, no amount of filters could save her. 3 months later, the internet had already found its next scandal. Mine wasn't over. It was just getting interesting. I walked into the headquarters of Hartwell Biotech wearing the same lucky watch I'd worn to every interview since graduation. The CEO met me personally. We've reviewed your research. He slid a contract across the table. We don't just want to hire you. We want you to lead the new consumer safety division. I blinked. Lead it. He smiled. You are one of the few people who recognized the hormone compounds before federal investigators did. You saved us months of research. We need someone who actually cares whether products hurt people. I signed before the ink on the offer letter had time to dry. 6 months later, Congress announced the Mia Bennett Consumer Supplement Safety Act, creating stricter testing requirements for online beauty products. Every news station covered it. People began calling me whenever another viral, miracle product appeared online. I became the woman scammers hated seeing. Meanwhile, the class action lawsuit ended. Every victim received compensation from the seized assets. The fake billionaire's entire organization collapsed. The factories were demolished. The shell companies vanished. Hundreds of influencers quietly deleted old sponsorships, pretending they'd never heard of the pills. Then came the funniest email of my life. Subject: Sterling Foundation Gala Invitation. Not from Zachary. From the real Sterling family. I almost deleted it, thinking it was another scam. Instead, I showed up. The chairman himself greeted me. Miss Bennett, I owe you an apology. I raised an eyebrow. For what? Our family name was dragged through the mud because of that fraud. He chuckled. You helped clear it. He handed me a Crystal Award. Consumer Integrity Award. The ballroom erupted in applause. As I stepped off stage, someone called my name. I turned. A handsome man in a navy suit extended his hand. Daniel Sterling. The real one. I laughed. You're going to have to prove that. He burst out laughing. I figured you'd say that. Instead of asking for my Snapchat, he handed me his driver's license. Then his business card. Then joked. I've learned verification is important. I laughed so hard champagne nearly came out of my nose. Now that was a better first impression. We started talking, then arguing, then debating medical ethics. 3 hours disappeared before either of us noticed. When the gala ended, he asked, So, would you let me take you to dinner? I pretended to think about it. No glow-up pills? None. No fake mansions? Nope. No rented Lamborghinis? I drive a boring hybrid. I smiled. Good answer. 1 year later, we got married. The wedding wasn't trending because it was extravagant. It trended because every guest had to pass an ID check after the fake billionaire scandal. People online joked, this is the first verified wedding in internet history. Even I laughed. As for Chloe, the prison library subscribed to every newspaper. She couldn't escape the headlines. Every few months, another article appeared with my face on the front page. FDA appoints Dr. Mia Bennett to National Advisory Board. Consumer Safety Advocate wins National Award. Biotech startup founded by Mia Bennett reaches billion-dollar valuation. One afternoon, a prison counselor quietly asked Chloe, Isn't that your sister? Chloe stared at the paper for a long time, then laughed bitterly. I spent my whole life trying to marry into wealth. She built it herself. She folded the newspaper. For the first time in her life, she had no one left to blame but herself. And me? Every time another miracle beauty pill started going viral, I'd smile.